Okay, I started.
Yeah.
Yep, got us both.
So
Sweet.
you upload this? You huh?
I just finally got both of our audios working on the recording, so good
Perfect.
to go.
And you upload this then to YouTube or?
Yeah, there's the Common Stack has a YouTube channel, um,
No.
and it's basically a repository of all of the meetings that happen here, which is pretty cool.
That sounds like transparency. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a transparency working group, and I think Zeptimus is the main transparency person, but he's like tasked with, or his initiative is to make sure that everyone is transparent within the
Yeah, makes
TEC.
sense.
So yeah, it's
Did you
cool.
read? Did you read Principles from
Principles
Ray Dalio?
from Ray Dalio, yeah, actually not too long ago.
Yeah, because it's also one of his, right? They're also
Yeah,
recording every meeting.
yeah. I thought his Bridgewater is like super interesting company. He just kind of goes against the grain on a lot of policies and yeah, implements stuff that would probably turn a lot of people off, but it ended up being super effective. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shall
Do you
we?
want to give me like a quick? Sorry, I could not make it on Monday. The IMM. How was the meeting?
Yeah.
Everything.
It was great. We basically connected with, well, we had 1 hour work session, or like, I don't know, maybe it was an hour and a half in the end, on mapping out this Miro board, or working on a Miro board that is mapping out some of the value flows scenarios for academic content. So it was pretty cool. I can share my screen actually. Oh yeah, and we can see each other.
Are you back in Berlin?
Not
Or
quite
still?
this
Still
Sunday.
in Portugal.
Yeah,
Sweet.
but all right, here we go. So, so yeah, we were working on this Miro board, and we basically discussed what the value flows might look like for a couple different scenarios of educational experiences, sort of. So the ecosystem value flows course is one scenario.
Mhm.
Um, they're thinking about TE Academy's trying to coordinate an ebook, like an e-textbook for the TE fundamentals course. Then there's just the actual course. There's the labs sessions, like the CAD working group, peer learning working group that Blair and I are setting up. So just kind of came up with different scenarios where economic or academic content would be
Okay, you
created.
need to go off camera again. You're breaking.
You can't hear me that well.
Hmm?
Can you hear me
You're
okay?
kind of breaking. Maybe better go off camera.
Okay. Is this any better?
Okay. Yes, it's better.
Cool. Yeah, so there were a couple scenarios where academic content was created, and then we mapped out how the value flows might work. So this is the scenario B with the textbook.
Mhm.
And we basically have like the foundational knowledge creators, and that's a lot of, so we're also kind of following this pyramid of stakeholders that Angela put together, where you have domain, um, yeah, you have the domain patrons, research education, researchers and mentors, and then students. So
Yup.
we basically have, yeah, so the foundational knowledge is created, and then we have facilitators that um, consolidate some of the content. Yeah, consolidation of content, and then you end up with a book, and you could have multiple books or chapters in the book or whatever it is, and then that's available for download, which would add value to students, and they learn something from that content. And then basically this process maps out the distribution of that knowledge and how it ultimately ends up in the students who would apply that somewhere else. So we're kind of missing, like, there's a loop out here where the students apply that knowledge to earn an income or to generate revenues in the form of like services, basically. And then part of those revenues we would ideally want to flow back to the contributors, like the facilitators or the knowledge creators. So we just kind of mapped out stuff like this and then talked about how IAM could be applied to these scenarios. And think it's actually a pretty good application, because NFTs can be used really to used to represent digital content in a textbook. An ebook specifically is like pretty clearly digital content. And then the IAM technology could track modifications to the textbook and consolidate the contributions from multiple people who've made edits and things like that. So yeah, more to work on. Angela took a bunch of notes here. There was also notes in not that one. There's also notes on the meeting in here, meeting notes. I should probably do one of these for today too, but yeah, I am meeting too. And then
I'll go through them.
Yeah. And then I still have to upload that video, but I only caught the second half of the meeting, so I forgot to start it, unfortunately.
Because there are no docs of IMM so far, right? So they're using what kind of technology? NFTs, yes. But
yeah, they basically created a new NFT. Let's see, there was some description that Tanner gave us that was pretty interesting.
Okay, I will just read through the docs. We don't waste your time.
IAM NFTs don't have a standard for data storage and operations. It's an abstract/language protocol for defining NFT data and operations. So the way that I kind of understood it is NFTs, most NFTs today, there's a contract that lives somewhere and they get their data and operations from the contract. But in the IAM NFTs, that data and operations actually live with the NFT instead of somewhere else. So then you can, kind of create breadcrumbs and like metadata around where the NFT is and has been a little bit easier.
Okay, so on which network? Are they have like their own network, or shall we work? No, probably not.
I think it's composable with other chains.
But it's an own chain or an own network.
Yeah, I forget how that works exactly.
If we have time later, I pitch Arweave to you because I think this would be a great use case.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And actually, we're having a meeting on this topic in 50 minutes after this conversation.
Okay. There's
yeah, let's see.
There's like what meetings afterwards?
Value flow mapping. So it's the mapping of the services and education side of things.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're free, definitely join. Cool. Awesome. Then should we jump into the services stuff or the marketplace stuff?
Yeah, I spent a couple of minutes. I spent a little time on it.
Yeah, I saw some new links.
Nothing.
Some slides.
Nothing. Yeah. So I did what? Wait. You wanna? Yeah. Or you wanna share? Or you cannot share? Then we can just go from top to down.
Yeah, you can. Do you want to share your screen, or what would be? I would love to get an update on what you were working on.
Yep. Let's see if it works. See my screen?
Yep.
But it did not ask me which screen. Probably see my whole screen, no?
It looks like, your whole screen, I think. Or else just Discord.
Cool. No secrets.
Transparency.
Full transparency, yeah. Okay, so What I did. I checked a little through my bachelor thesis, success factors of the marketplace. So
Wait
the
a
structure
second.
of the industry is one,
Wait a second.
highly
I
fragmented.
th- I think we can only see Discord.
Oh, that sucks. Wait.
So
Full
yeah, when you
streaming,
hit
change
share
window.
screen, there's an option
Yes.
for applications, or you can do the second tab, which is screens.
Now it should look better.
Yep. Now we can see the marketplace
Okay.
success factors.
Yes, there's like a couple of academic research on success factors of e-marketplaces. Basically, the service marketplace would be. So we have like a highly fragmented industry, many individuals, and like consumers and suppliers, lack of transparency. I think we got this one, especially in the information phase. We have like a digital product, check this one, and we should check the competition. I think there is none so far for an engineering marketplace. There you can look at the current transaction. I think that's something we need to research then in the interviews. Like what are the inefficiencies in the current transaction? So for example, if like block signs or long-term financial customer, what do they like report was the problem or what was the problem for the customers? And the market size and the transaction volume. I mean, it's like basic metrics where you can estimate if it's worth creating an e-marketplace for something. Here I put in like a little Google Doc for kind of agile interview guide. So without like just asking like if the people or if like the target group would be in this case the token engineer customer, for example like a project or company which needs token engineering services, and then you could use or you could add some. I don't know what you used before. But it's basically just like trying let them talk, explain their situation, and describing like what is like difficult and in the process of finding token engineers and recruiting them, what's annoying, what's the hardest things to do, and yeah, some basic question we could just like ask them. Then we can go to the next step. That would be this one, a little Google sheet, which is not so full so far. So I wrote Peter Reuschel. That's like one guy I met from Leondra. They're in Berlin, and they want to make this corporate currencies. So basically they want to have like different corporations, different tokens, basically like product tokens, which can be redeemed against their products. And yeah, I wrote him. Like we had like a call, I think 2 weeks ago, and I wrote him about our idea with the marketplace and if he's in, or if he is willing to talk to us. And I mean, I thought we could maybe put in here some names and contacts. I don't know how it is with data protection we have this here right now, but I hope that's cool.
Yeah, true.
If there's no email, it should be fine. Otherwise, yeah. I made like a little presentation or just some screenshots where I looked at some projects, maybe to give us like an idea what features we need. So I looked, it's also not done yet, some gig economy platforms, Bitcoin, crypto job list, but it's more like a job list than a gig economy platform, Fiverr and AngelList. No, AngelList is also a job platform. Cancel this one. And companies, Token Factory, they're offering token engineering services, block science. There was another one, Delphi Digital, I think I also looked at. So Gitcoin, I think you know Gitcoin. We have like the bounties and the hackathons and the grants as like mainly income source for token engineers. You can create a profile picture. You can get ratings. We have like this kudos which you can earn. It's connected to your GitHub. I mean, that's like all points about the profiles. Of course, I think in the end, in the token engineering marketplace, you, Peter, or any other token engineer would have kind of his own or her own page where she or him can display some, some artifacts, some project she did, and some, some proof of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I just looked here a little bit about how it looks like, how the grants are structured, what are the kudos, quadratic funding. The same for crypto job list. Basically, you also have like a profile, the title, and you put your CV and your GitHub and all your like Web3 or Web2 credentials, but nothing too special, and just get like a list of potential jobs you could apply for.
Mm-hmm.
Fiverr, Fiverr is also gig economy, so you can look for if you want to have like a token, for example, then there are people who program your token on the Binance Smart Chain, and then the people have also like their accounts of rates and where they're from, and reviews and what they offer and skills and this kind of stuff is all pretty generic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah. So
same
there's
the
a
same
lot of
upload.
like user profiles, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and that's
yeah. Each
where we need
platform has
to.
their own.
Yeah, it would be super cool if we establish something with NFTs or verifiable
Mm-hmm.
credentials, and we'll also could import them or export them to other platforms, if other platforms like other economy platforms in a later
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Need the same.
I think that's going to end up being one of the would be maybe one of the first things that we try and tackle is like a rough version of like a user profile, because that was one of the problems that we talked about last meeting too, was like skill verification.
Yeah,
And that's actually where there's a really cool overlap between a services marketplace and the like the academic side, the mapping of academic content, because we were talking about this in the meeting with Tanner and I am basically the way that Tanner has thought about a lot about verified credentials and stuff, verified skills as well, and you basically need an evidence layer of the skills and things that a person has completed, and then you can query that or create different views of their skills of like the database or the evidence layer of skills for all the participants to find who you're looking for. And so, companies could kind of come in with their own criteria, write a query and say, we need people with these skills and stuff. And then the profiles would show up for them. So it'd be really cool if we could like try and create a first iteration of a skill tree, or like a token engineer's skill forest, and come up with like the one or two, or I don't know how long the list would be, basically of skills or degrees or courses and stuff that like are sort of mandatory or fundamental to having a baseline knowledge of being a token engineer, and then try and figure out how we can like create a profile out of that, sort of, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
no, makes complete sense. And yeah, maybe like also space for them to, or for token engineers to post stuff or to link their posts.
Mm-hmm.
We write like a blog or presentations or create like a CAD model or something where you can like or collect or display your achievements, your artifacts
Yeah,
you
exactly.
created. Yeah, that's basically not so interesting. Here's like this token factory, what they're offering, design token. They're doing also modeling, and for digital, they're also doing modeling. There might be companies which we could or we should put in the interview partner list, and then try to talk with them to
Yeah.
discuss what they think it's the most important stuff in the marketplace. And interview guides. Yes, and here to just link the Drive. So in case you want to put in any Google Docs, presentations, sheets, whatever, you can share them there or in another Drive. That's up to you guys. Yeah, that's basically it. So next up, I think, is like connecting with more token engineers and companies and demand and supply side, and get in contact with some interviews to
Yeah.
get a better understanding.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. We got a new. Oh, it's Aiden. Hey, Aiden.
And
What's up,
yeah,
man?
so I'm on Discord. I'm just gonna kind of listen in,
Okay.
just getting ready.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Feel free.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. Been a while.
Yeah.
I
um, yeah, we were
I
actually
don't want to
just
interrupt too much, so I'm just gonna listen in for now.
all good. Yeah, we were actually
Hey,
just
Phil.
talking about setting up like sort of interview templates to learn about uh, token engineers, learn more about token engineers themselves and the companies that are doing token engineering services to understand like the pains and motivations for the marketplace, like the demand and supply side. And then also companies, obviously, people who are looking for token engineering services.
Sweet,
So,
that's great.
yeah.
Cause yeah, Chewy's wanted me to start helping him with he's building like a scouts working group because he wants to
Mm-hmm.
help scout new token engineers. I'm not fully sure on like the whole specs of it, but that's starting soon.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah, awesome guys. I'm
whom?
just gonna mute.
Um, nice. So, Phil, what do you think would be a good way to start that? Like coming up with, so I think splitting it in like demand and supply side is a pretty logical approach. And then who would be like a few examples of the demand side? So companies that are looking for, um, oh yeah, perfect. You've already got, I didn't see the second
So
tab. Nice.
that's like for token engineers. I don't know. I talked to this guy like 2 years ago. He was quite cool from Spain, but I don't know his website. His website is offline, and he has like also an absolutely amazing reading list I can share with you about token engineering, basically. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what happened to him.
Yeah,
Haven't heard
very
anything.
cool.
So we can also put in here token engineers. I mean, about Adian, I never met you before, but I guess you're also a token engineer somehow.
I think Aiden's done some token engineering. um, but yeah, it's like I think a lot of just like TEC members probably fall into this bucket.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of the people in the labs crew, obviously, like Block Science has a lot of token engineers. There's some in the CAD Labs company. So yeah, cool. Then we can go through here and kind of fill them out. And then what types of questions you already had? Yeah, the token engineer interview guide. Um,
I don't know if you have like different ideas or structure approach.
yeah,
Maybe
no,
let's like put in some companies or some projects, if any come to your mind, which you could
yeah.
address,
I think
ask
we
the
have.
interview.
I think there's a good list in the Notion companies to talk with.
This ones.
Is that right? Is that kind of what you mean?
Let me start with, we got this one. And I put already in the image. Yeah, let me just like hit them an email.
Um,
So,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that there's like already there's some easy ones that we could connect with. Like we know people um,
Right here.
at LTF, obviously. We know people at Block Science isn't on this list. We could also talk with. Oh, yeah, I remember talking with Magenta from the Ecosystem Value Flows course. And she said she's done some token engineering work with DORG, Decentralized Organization, or DORG, yeah. So could reach out to her.
Should we
I'll add that in.
to just put Magenta here? Magenta and put Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
And then from LTF,
I would try to build.
I don't think we know anyone from Gauntlet.
Let's
see.
LTF, we should also know someone.
Yeah, well, we can. Obviously, Sean's on the list.
I'll try to get someone from Outlier Ventures. Would be anyway interesting to connect with them.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know anyone from there. I think actually
I think
Outlier
it's also
Ventures
really interesting.
connected with LTF2 at some point, so maybe we can get a lead from them.
Now before. Because I think it's really also for us really interesting to find out if companies in general they look for employees, like people who then stick with the project, or if token engineering is anything which could be like just project based. But Boson we got address, no?
Yeah, definitely. Put Boson on there.
Boson.
They would be they would actually probably be part of oh wait. Okay. Which one is there's supply and demand? Oh, my bad. I flipped the tabs clicking around there. But so which one?
So IDF is supply,
demand. Demand is token engineers, and supply would be clients. I mean, opposite. Sorry. Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Oh boy.
Can you still hear me? Uh-oh. Testing.
Not
I can hear you. Test. Oh, he's gone. Aiden, can you hear me? Phil, any better? Any better?
Oh wait, connection's really weak. I don't know if it's... Nah, I'll try to go on mobile later. Maybe it's mine.
It's probably mine. Shoot. Let me try getting back in. Uh-oh. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Test. Nope. It's connecting. All right. How about now?
Anything. Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me? Phil, can you hear me? Oh, this is brutal.
I don't know what happened there. Can you guys hear me?
Can you guys hear me? I can hear you, Aiden.
Sweet. If you guys are using that Notion as a working doc, if you want to invite me, I can add to it. I'm just not on my computer yet.
Yeah, it's in the channel. It's pinned in the TE
Okay,
Services
cool.
channel.
That's a new
one. Phil, can you hear us?
Oh, relatively new. Cool.
Oh man. Hey Phil. Any better?
Hi. Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Sweet.
Weird.
Sweet. Okay.
All right.
So I thought like demand means like people which require token engineering, or people in projects or more companies, and supply is people, token engineering supplies people who practice or supply token engineering, right?
Yep.
Cool. So you should put Sean LTF would be then on the supply side.
Yes, and BK and Johan too.
Yep.
Boson would be the demand side.
Defi Digital would be also supply, but I don't know no one. But you know this, guys? You know the podcast?
I've heard of it. Haven't listened.
It's definitely worth checking out. They're kind of brilliant.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they're quite sharp, these guys.
Okay, Gauntlet is also on this.
Okay, that would be all basically. And Odyssey is kind of a hackathon organizer, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't really know. They wanted Yeah, I think they would be. Let's keep them on the demand side for now because I think that they were looking for token engineers to help with their help support teams during their hackathons.
No, that makes sense. Okay, Delphi is also not here actually. Other side, yep. Okay, yeah. It's not the, I think it's not that easy project. I mean, we could just try to talk to XA Infinity and all these projects which are kind of listed as customers, like Panther protocol, or which you guys working at or working with.
Yeah, Panther was, I believe, working with LTF. I'm not sure how their project ended up. I haven't heard anything about it. But let's put them down. Panther.
But I mean, like in general, I'm kind of questioning at the moment, is it because as a token engineer, you should be really connected to the project, or? And your best interest should be like the long-term success of this project. And if it's just like a gig you do, like token engineering for one project, and you don't care afterwards, I mean, you should be also like really close to this project if you do. You know, it's just questioning if it's like. Yeah, but I mean, there are companies also who do like services that should work.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe something to talk about with the companies.
Yeah, well, that was another. I think we'll learn more about that exactly. Having a conversation with the company, but that was one of the points that we brought up last meeting.
Connection's kind of weak again.
Okay, that's my bad. I've got bad internet here. It's annoying. Sorry about that. Let me try joining from my phone.
Peter?
Then, yeah, can you hear me? It looks like it's better now.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
But yeah, I was saying that's one of the things that we that we talked about last meeting was the regarding like the benefits of having a marketplace, and let me try and find it. Yeah, benefits to the projects or benefits to the clients. One of them was finding the right token engineers that basically matched the incentives and values of a specific project. Okay, where was that? Yeah, intrinsic motivations.
Yeah, that was a good point. Yeah, and maybe it's also like if you find a system and once it's like working. But I was last thinking like some project which always have already a token, they also could need some token engineering, you know, because a lot of projects you just have a token, but they don't have any.
And they don't have any models or
anything. Like, yeah, or any idea what the utility of this token should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should add that to the. Okay, we have an interviewing guide for token engineering customer. So this would be clients, right?
It would be kind of the offering, or but it's more like the offering of. I think it's really hard to draw the line between what does the marketplace offer and what does then like a supplier on the marketplace offer, because that would be basically the work of a supplier, right, and not of the marketplace.
Yeah. Wait, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so like kind of re-token engineering. So it means like you have already a token, and or like a group of token engineers looks at your token and at your project and finds like a use case and the utility of your token and models this for you, for example. But that's not an offering or service of the marketplace, but a service of like a vendor on the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And yeah, that's more of like the token engineers basically that are participating on the supply side of the marketplace. That would be their opportunity to identify a common need that clients have often and then be able to fulfill that need. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we make another? Should we? What do you think about making another page and listing their service marketplace offerings?
Yeah, let's add that as a question, like an interview question for the demand side for the clients,
Yep.
and
Yeah, that's it.
to understand better what type of services are being requested.
So the idea from the interview guide is not to ask like, what do you need? Because that's the whole problem. Because if you ask someone, they don't, the customer doesn't necessarily know what they need. I think it's more like they have problems and they can tell you about the problems, and then you need to figure out how you can solve the problems better than the alternatives they're using today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should like collect them, like we should collect the problems and then the alternatives, and then try to come up with our own value proposition, which we could basically note down in our page as offering or value proposition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're not trying to like figure out how to offer those things to clients. We're just trying to figure out how to build, or I guess, yeah, if a transparent marketplace like this would offer, yeah, would it allow for those problems to be solved by token engineers? Because those now, like those, if that request or client, if that need is common enough, then token engineers would hopefully be able to identify that and then create a service offering around that through the marketplace.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. But we also need to find like what the marketplace offers then to the customers and
right,
like I was thinking we should make a page for that, or maybe later on after the interviews when we have a better idea.
Yeah. So where would we save that comment? Where should we save that? Right now, I think I see in the Notion page there's like one bullet point that mentions it and says what types of services are being requested.
Mm-hmm.
But would that be part of would that topic be part of an interview guide for token engineering clients? Is customer client, by the way, in this interview guide document?
Yes.
Okay.
We can change this.
I'll add them both.
Or we can also call it demand. Oh, because that's kind of the demand side.
Yeah.
And the other one is pretty similar. I mean, the questions are like pretty the same, just changing what are the top 5 hardest things about getting a job in token engineering, for example. Finding a project, client demand. Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. What kind of yeah. Oh, this is good. What kind of advice have you been screening or searching for? Yeah, I think these questions get at it, actually. Oh, maybe I could share my screen.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Is that working? Can you see that?
Yep. Yeah, cool. I'm also in the doc and I see your screen.
Yeah, I think these are good questions. They basically get at that question or at that topic. Describe your situation. What kind of advice have you been searching for?
kind of here trying to find like alternatives they're using today.
What tools and platforms do you use? Yeah.
To find TEs.
Yes. Or people. I feel like a lot of this connection just happens through word of mouth at the moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's small industry.
So why are you searching for TEs is kind of along the lines of what questions are you trying to answer? About your project?
Kind of finding the right skills, right?
Yeah. And this is, it's kind of a weird one because we're not like, the goal isn't to like, okay, now we can build a team around this common problem that we've identified. It's more of like, okay, since we've done these interviews and we've learned what types of projects that clients might be looking for, or what type of work they might be looking for, then is that something that a marketplace like this would solve for? Or how does the marketplace need to be designed to
Can you repeat this,
allow
please?
for-
Because like,
Is it cutting out again? Shoot, man, yeah, was I cutting out again?
maybe it's also mine. I don't.
No, I think it's me. Was I cutting out again though?
Yeah, like a little bad connection, at least on my side. I don't know. It's also like a storm coming, but I don't know if this can be a reason for the connection to break down.
Okay, I
Could
see
be at
that.
least.
I see that my bars are back. So can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying regarding that question, the goal would not to try and then build a service offering around like a common problem that's trying to be solved, but it's more of trying to understand how we can build a marketplace that would enable teams to solve problems like that, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Cool.
So we should try to answer.
I think it's a good question.
Right. Knowing recruiting. It's more like it's about recruiting and finding the right or it's like the marketplace should reduce the cost, the kind of the transaction cost in the information phase. So when a company is looking for a token engineer and then also negotiating and contracting and afterwards like the whole transaction between token engineer and project should be cheaper, faster, more efficient.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm not sure where the best place to put it is, but I'll put it in the Notion. Reduce transaction costs of TE services. Okay, let's see where the best place. Benefits for the project. That's a good place to put it. Are you in the Notion?
Yes. Benefits of the product.
Yeah, just added.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. Marketplace is intended to reduce trend. Open questions.
There's a lot of stuff happening at the moment with kind of product token, kind of like reward products redeemed for tokens in kind of I guess it's like customer loyalty or marketing kind of thing. Bankless, for example.
Yeah.
They're launching now their like clothing, right? And you can buy tokens. Yeah, they have like a merch store now, and they want the people wear their stuff. And I think it's what's also like really interesting and probably coming up sooner or later are this kind of social token things. So, for example, my sister has like a dog shelter, and she's like dog psychologist.
Yeah.
I think she, like in theory, she could also have like a token for marketing purposes, to engage her customers and social media fans and whatever.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So like how do we build there's the service offering that token engineers are going to help companies with or clients with is going to change so much over time. It's so how do we have to like focus on how to build how to design a marketplace that reduces the transactional costs and solves for some of the pain points in terms of transparency for clients and token engineers generally, but also allows for like flexible service offerings, right? Because we want basically to allow token engineers or groups of token engineers to solve a wide range of problems for their clients, but still be able to use this this marketplace to benefit from things like fair pricing and transparency in the requests from clients and things like that.
Yep, absolutely agree.
Okay.
Yeah, like as you always say, like, the best thing is like we should go out and talk to people. Maybe we continue working on the list of projects we can talk to. Maybe like randomly I made an appointment with this IXO. I don't know. You know Will Rudick, for example, from Grassroots Economics.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And we could actually talk to Grassroots.
Oh cool. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, I
So
guess
they're super cool. They have like
getting some hours or some time in working on this, like filling this interviews partners doc out and trying to think about questions and stuff. That's going to be on my to-do list, I guess, for the coming days or until our next meeting. Maybe that should be one thing we try and plan to do.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's
a
also
bit of
like
it just needs some like alone time to think.
Oh, I see this. I think that it's also probably one of the most fun ways because we will get to know other people. And I'm also really curious about getting to know some token engineers because I hardly know anyone.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's see whom we can catch up from the token engineering comments.
Yeah, for sure. We could also just probably post in the labs channel and be like anybody who's doing token engineering work for clients want to talk about their role and their experience providing services.
Yep. That sounds great. Okay, then back to
Okay, cool.
Should we? You started also a new mirror, or I saw this of IMM. Is there like a place where we link all the mirrors, or where you link all the mirrors?
Yeah, the homepage of this Notion document has the Miro boards.
Yeah. Okay. It is Miro. Okay.
They
Sorry.
might take a little bit to load.
Okay.
But,
Peter was faster. That's great.
Cool.
Yeah, but it works.
All right. So, anything else to go over before we switch topics in 10 minutes with the next meeting? Basically, we'll both plan to spend some time on the Google Sheet to outline some of the clients and token engineers that we would want to get in touch with, and then work on some of the interview guide questions. So
yep, that sounds good. I mean, I will directly try to like make appointments with them or with people.
And trying to
let's jump in conversations and let's do this. That sounds like a good plan. No, I think that's the biggest to do at the moment, just to bring some light in the room.
Cool.
Cool.
And then the the third thing that you were doing was researching other marketplaces, basically, right? Other blockchain-based marketplaces, or crypto-based marketplaces.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. I mean, they're more like gig economy platforms, right? So where you can find a gig, but it's not really for teaming up, because I have the feeling for this token engineering marketplace, a major element will be to team up with people, or because there's so many skills required, and all this kind of gig economy platforms, they're all like for Fiverr, for example. You are just a developer, and you say, okay, I can like program a smart contract for you, or I can create a website for you. But it's not really about finding teams.
Right. Yeah, it's because that's like one of the biggest pieces of token engineering work, is that it takes a team. Like, not a single person has all of the token engineering or has all of the skill sets to be a token engineer, because there's so many fields and expertises involved.
Yep. But I think there's also the next step is to create like kind of a list. Or no, but it does not make sense. I think we should first go for interview before we create any list with potential value propositions. I mean, we can create a page of value proposition hypothesis. You know.
Yeah.
And then we can try to confirm them, or even the interviews. Then I create another page here, and we can say page, and we can say
in the Notion you are. Oh yeah, I see that.
Yep, marketplace by value position.
Yeah.
Up.
And I think we actually have
are you in this page?
Let me click into it. We might actually have a chunk of notes in the homepage, actually, that we can add right in directly into the value props page. Like, yeah, let's see, we have some fair pricing.
Yep. Share room for engineers.
So I think this chunk of notes is relevant. And this as well.
There we go. Oh.
Are you in the?
Oh yeah. Yep, we're in the same one. I think we're
cool.
Like, I just saw like all this stuff popping up, which you just pasted in.
Cool. Yeah, it probably has a bit of a delay getting over to you, but very cool. The other value prop idea that I thought was super interesting that Griff mentioned yesterday is last meeting was creating a open source repo for token engineering models. But I'm not sure that's like really that's not really like a marketplace.
I would say yes, like access to material, best practices, templates. Would it be a point?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, that to me that sounds, I mean, awesome idea. I think it's like I think he's right. but to me that sounds more like one of the kind of a version of a service, but not really. It's not actually like serving a client, a single client, but it's creating, like a team of token engineers, for example, could create a handful of model templates that all solve the same problem for a bunch of clients, and then use the marketplace to connect with clients that need those models, sort of. I don't know. I guess like having a repository of token engineering models doesn't really feel like that fits the like a marketplace structure.
I mean, there could be actually a third, like even like another party of the marketplace, or like you have like token engineers, you have customers or demand side, and you have like support, like kind of academy or supportive back office function, which offer a kind of template models, and would be a whole new market participant, which just supports the engineers.
Oh yeah, very true. So like the repository is kind of like a participant. Interesting.
It's kind of a multi-sided market. It's not even like a two-sided, but like a multi-sided market, where you have then the provider of models, for example, which then, I think that's a good idea.
Huh. Cool. Yeah, because I could see actually the IM NFT technology, like that could actually be. I could see that being applied to things like foundational token engineering models. Like if somebody, I know there's already been a few models built on conviction voting, for example. And now that we have conviction voting model, no one has to actually build that model out again if they need to put a conviction voting mechanism into their the model they're working on for a client. But the person who originally created that conviction voting model should probably be compensated with future use of their model, kind of. So like if that code is adopted into other people's models, which are used to generate revenue, then they should be also compensated.
I absolutely agree. Should we put this, one second, should we put like a new stakeholder portrait in the mural for this kind of group?
In the original ecosystem value flows Miro?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'll just like copy. And it would be like a kind of a infrastructure provider, or like a, what could we call this?
Oh yeah, also now the other call is probably starting soon.
Yep. So,
okay.
Answer the phone real quick.
Hey Natalia.
Hey.
We're just wrapping up we had a quick meeting on the marketplace design topic. We're just kind of wrapping up. Also, maybe we should communicate this a little bit better, but the meeting schedules, at least that I've been trying to put together, are end up on the token. Well, we talk about them in the channel, and so that's obviously confusing because we just switched channels today, or a couple days ago, from labs to the TE services one. But they're also they get posted on the token engineering community calendar, and the location will generally always be the labs channel for now. So just for future, I guess. Cool. Phil, did you have a last comment before we wrap up that topic? Or I think he might have gotten a phone call. Okay. Yeah, then I think we're good to go. I'm actually gonna stop the recording and then re-record, just so I don't have to split them up later for uploading.
Yeah, good job, guys. What are you guys doing the value flows mapping for on the next one?
It's for related to the collaboration that the partnership with the TE Academy on, and hopefully IAMM protocol, to just better understand how knowledge content gets distributed across the token engineering community, and then hopefully, and how compensation basically to the academic side of the value would flow back. How value would flow back to the academic side of things. Okay, I'm gonna stop that recording.